You may think this world is calm, but a storm is coming, and the wind has already begun to blow, and I am here to speak not of opinions, but of truth, and the truth will shake the foundations of the earth. For the blood of the saints still cries out from the ground, and their testimony has not died, and among them is Paul, once Saul, a persecutor, a man of violence, a hunter of the faithful, until a light from heaven struck him down on the road to Damascus, and a voice said, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" And in that moment, the hunter became the hunted, not by men, but by grace. And he who once breathed threats became a man who spoke life, and that life took him to cities, to synagogues, to prisons, to kings, and finally to Rome, where he met the edge of the sword, not with fear, but with faith. For he had said, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." And Nero thought he had won, thought that by spilling Paul's blood, he would silence the message. But what Nero did not understand is that when you kill a man who has already died to himself, you do not stop the fire, you spread it. And Paul's voice became louder in death than in life. For the letters he wrote in chains became the weapons of the church. And though Rome tried to bury him in silence, God raised his words in every language, and his message still breaks chains today. Because Paul's life was not about survival, but surrender, and his mission was not comfort, but calling. And I ask you now, do you see what this means? The empires fall, the rulers fade, but the word of the Lord endures forever. And Paul wrote, "To live is Christ, and to die is gain." And he meant it, and he proved it. And his death was not a tragedy, it was a trumpet, calling the faithful to rise, to preach, to suffer if needed, to never bow to the lies of power. For Paul chose the scars of Christ over the praise of men. And that choice echoes still, and now, in this hour, you must choose. Will you live like Paul, or fade like Nero? Will you speak truth when it costs you? Will you carry the fire even when the world mocks it? Because I tell you, the time is short, and the judge stands at the door, and what you do now echoes forever. So be not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes. And remember, we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, those who refuse to bow, those who refuse to be silent, those who refuse to give in, and Paul is among them, not as a man who died, but as a man who finished. And now he waits with the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to him, and not only to him, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. So lift up your eyes, cast off the fear, put on the armor of God, and run your race with endurance, for the day is drawing near. And every word you speak for Christ will not be wasted, and every wound for his name will be healed in glory. And the voice of Paul still calls out, not to flatter you, but to wake you. And the Spirit says, "Come, come out from the world, come into the fire, come into the light, come into the truth, for the days of compromise are over, and the days of decision are here. So choose this day whom you will serve, and do not delay, for the King is coming, and he will not delay. And to those who overcome, he will give the crown of life. So do not fear what they do to the body, for they cannot touch your soul. And in the end, when the dust of empires has faded, and the bones of kings have turned to ash, only one kingdom will remain. And Paul gave his life for it. And now I ask you, will you give yours? Will you live for Christ with all your heart? Will you lay down the weight of this world and take up the cross? Because the cross is not the end, it is the beginning. And those who lose their lives for his sake will find them. And the Spirit says again, rise, stand, speak, endure, believe. For the hour is late, the night is almost over, and the dawn is near. And when that trumpet sounds, the dead in Christ will rise, and we who remain will be caught up with them. So do not sleep, do not drift, do not grow cold. For the fire that burned in Paul is meant to burn in you. And what they tried to kill cannot be killed, and what they tried to silence cannot be silenced, and what they tried to bury will rise again. So let the Lion of Judah roar through your life. Let your voice be a sword, your prayers be fire, your heart be holy, and your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And when your race is done and your breath is fading, may your soul smile like Paul's did, and may heaven say, "Well done." For this world is not our home, and the time is now to live like citizens of the kingdom. So stand, run, fight, speak, and never turn back, for the crown awaits the faithful, and the fire still falls for the hungry. So do not settle, do not fear, and do not forget. This is not the end, this is the beginning, and eternity will remember what you did with this hour. So make it count, for the time is short, and the voice still cries out. Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight paths for him, because he is coming, and his reward is with him. And the Spirit and the bride say, "Come." Subscribe to Ignite.